Channel Public Education. Our next speaker is Brian Blacklow. He is president of the Asheville City Association of Educators. So give a warm welcome to Brian.
Good evening. You're not going to make me use my teacher voice, are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Before I begin, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out. When I think of Citizens United, I think of this right here. A bunch of citizens united on making sure that our government works. Before I begin, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Then I'm going to tell you what the legislature has done, what they want to do, and what that will mean for us and for my daughter, and for me as a teacher. My name's Brian Blacklow. I teach 3rd grade at Claxton Elementary. I've been teaching for 10 years. I've won a Teacher of the Year award. I have a master's degree in elementary education. I'm nationally board certified. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I love my students very, very much. And the legislature thinks that I am a horrible, horrible person. I'm also the president of the Asheville City Association of Educators. We're a group of over 230 educators here in Asheville City, and all we do is advocate for our students and for our profession. Really, we're advocating for the future of the state. We're a local affiliate of the North Carolina Association of Educators. You said you weren't sure about Tom Tillis keeping his word. I'm very sure he keeps his word. Tom Tillis said on an open mic that he wanted to punish the North Carolina Association of Educators. Why? Because the NCAE, a group of 60,000 educators. Who cares more about students than educators? I don't know. I went into the business, all the people I work for, because we care about our students. He said he wanted to punish the NCAE because we spoke out about a budget that was horrible for public education. Absolutely horrible. I mentioned I teach 3rd grade. I once had a teacher assistant in my classroom with me. I no longer have a teacher assistant in my classroom. I don't need to tell you that that has negatively impacted my students' learning. The next time you hear our Pope, our Speaker Tillis, or Senator Berger talk about how many educators they've put into the school, let's call it what it is. It's dishonest, it's a lie, and it's deceitful. They can come to my classroom or many classrooms across the state anytime that they would like to see the truth. They had an opportunity a couple budgets ago, actually this budget, to extend a 1-cent sales tax. It was supposed to sunset. I don't know about you, now that this 1-cent sales tax has sunsetted, has expired, my wallet is just not that heavy. It's not flush with the 20s and 50s and 100s that the legislature promised me it would be. Here's what we lost, without gaining anything. We lost thousands of educators. Notice I don't ever use the word teachers. We lost teachers, we lost administrators, we lost teacher assistants, we lost bus drivers, we lost custodial workers. We are losing our future. This is what they did. This is what they did. They cut all these jobs, and then they said, you know what's going to happen? By cutting all these jobs, we are going to increase employment in the state. Obviously, some of them did not have great math teachers. Maybe they're upset. The NCAA said, this is not going to be good for our budget. This is not going to be good for our budget. It hasn't. Unemployment went up. You can read the occasional newspaper article about how the economy is turning. I haven't felt it. I don't know many people who have felt it. I know it's not going here. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about what this legislature would like to do. They would like me to never have a pay raise. They would like teachers, teacher assistants, not to have pay raises. They would like to make public education charter schools, private schools, and vouchers. And they say it on record. I'm not paranoid. This has been said over and over and over again. Our Pope and his minions recently put out information that teachers are very, very well paid and we get lots of pay raises.
You have got a lot of raises.
I hope you don't mind. I didn't bring my paycheck. I'm going to ask you to take this on faith from me. I have not received a pay raise since 2009. As a matter of fact, I've received a pay cut. The legislature, after promising to fund ABC bonuses
Who's your governor?
for how your students do on the end of grade test, took that away. The legislature said, maybe you should now pay for your health insurance that used to be free. That is a pay cut. They can use any term for it. It's a pay cut. I told you I'd tell you a little bit about my daughter. My daughter's about to turn 3 in March. My wife's 8 months pregnant. I'm going to have a son. My daughter has pretty severe developmental delays. Here's what I want for my daughter. I want my daughter to be able to go to a public school for free. If she has special education needs, I want her to have an excellent special education teacher. They're being cut. I want my daughter to learn about democracy. I do not want my daughter to try to attempt to do that in a classroom with 40 kids. I want first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade teachers with teacher assistants to support the learning of all the students. This legislature does not want that. Why? Because the NCAE had the gall to speak up. Because the NCAE said, no, really, our students matter. Pay for educators in our state has dropped to 49th. 49th. 49th.
Who's 50th?
50th is Mississippi.
I knew it.
And I'll just mention, I started my teaching career in the state of Mississippi, making $19,000 a year as a Teach for America teacher. I did. On the other hand, I also pay a lot more for my mortgage, a lot more for my goods. When I worked in Mississippi, it was assumed you were last. It's not a great thing. This legislature wants to take us to last. And they're dead set on it. They don't want to support public education, and it's a problem. We depend on an educated electorate. We cannot succeed, and I hope you don't see this as hyperbole, because I believe this from the bottom of my heart, and it's why I'm in education. This country depends on an educated electorate. The middle class depends on a middle class electorate. And by you coming here and being educated on these issues about our Pope taking all his money and really trying to take away public education, really trying to hurt the middle class, you're being educated. And I could do something hokey and say, raise your hand if you had a teacher positively affect you. We don't need to. We already know the answer to that. All of us are here because we had a great teacher. I'm proud to be a teacher. I'm proud to be married to a teacher. I'm proud that my mother is a teacher. I'm proud to be a member of the only voice for public education in the state, the North Carolina Association of Educators. And I hope that you will help elect a legislature statewide that is also pro-public education, because it's not just for my children. It's for your children, for your grandchildren, for generations just to come. Thank you very much for allowing me to come.